Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Road America. Rob Howden alongside Elliot Forbes Robinson as our Speedcast TV coverage continues. It has been a marathon, to say the least. At least EFR, you gonna make it?
Yeah, I think we're going to get ahead. Besides, I'm looking forward to this. We're getting into the cars. We watched Momentum cars last time.
Yep.
We're out of the Momentum business.
Horsepower.
We are into GT1. We're talking about thunder. We're talking about horsepower. We're talking about wheel spin. These cars are awesome. You know, we got a tube frame cars. It kind of looks like a Mustang and a Corvette and a Camaro and the other cars we have out here, the Jaguars that are out here. But all in all, it's a car that's got some power. It's got some rubber on the ground. It's got 700 plus horsepower. Man, we're talking about cars that are really exciting to watch and drive. So I'm looking forward to this one, see what the guys can do, see how they control this thing in the first lap. We talked about tires. These guys have to worry about what they do in the tire spin and stuff the first lap.
Really, I think we talked about it before in one of the other categories. I think it was the T1 category. We talked about the fact that these guys really have to roll on the throttle again. You're not just standing on it because you got so much horsepower under the hood of these cars.
Oh, you can stand on the throttle, but you're going to look where you just came from. It's going to be going the other way. Now, these things will light them up and turn around. You have to. Actual fact is that these cars, because the amount of brakes they have, the amount of acceleration or horsepower they have, you have to use everything a little bit easy when you first go for it. When you go for the brakes, you go for it easy because it can lock up the brakes. Then you can push it hard once you get your weight transfer up there. And the getting on the gas coming out of a corner, you just kind of squeeze that thing on. This is one of the cars when they tell you treat it like an egg. You know, there's an egg between you and the pedal because you never want to mash that thing because you could be halfway on it and think, boy, I'm straight, I can nail it. Wrong. It's still going to light up the tires and you can still go around unless you're in the right spot. So you just got to squeeze that thing on. And in saying that, you have to do that for the other reason, that if you get on the gas really hard in these cars and use light up the tires, even if you have control over that, the tires won't stay with you to the end of this half-hour race that they're going to do. So you have to be careful with that.
Well, let's put this out there as well, though. Here's the graphic of some heavy clouds starting to come in. We've talked about how great a weather we've had all weekend long, and there is a possibility that we may see some rain coming in here around 3:30 this afternoon. That would be right in time for our D Sports Racer event. So 2 more classes left to go after GT1. We'll cross our fingers we can at least get this one through all the way here. But at this point here, we may get some rain coming in for the last couple classes here, DSR and E-Production. On the grid right now, getting set to go, maybe 7-8 minutes away is GT1, but we're going to head down right now to John Pizzignano on pit lane.
Well, you are the sales account manager for sports car racing, but you did bikes, you did drag racing. Why is Goodyear so committed to the SCCA and actual club racing?
Well, you know, they run 25 different classes, and we want to be involved in all 25 of them. And if we're in racing, then that's what we have to do. So we're committed to all 25 classes, and that's why we do it.
That's a heck of a commitment. I mean, when you have the Pro Series, many Pro Series, all over the world, to keep so much emphasis with these guys is a big job, and it's great that you're doing it.
Yeah. Well, there's so many of them as well, you know. The pros are limited to X amount of fields. You come here, how many do we have? 630 entrants?
Exactly, 25 races.
Yeah, so that's great, and we love to be here, and we love to service them all. So
how do you keep up with it?
Age. It comes with experience.
That helps.
Yes.
You have to be up with the technology. There are people trying to compete against you. They're trying to beat you almost in every single class.
Yes, that's true. But we have good engineers as well, and we have the factory behind us, so it's not really that big of an issue.
How many tires people did you bring here?
I think we had about 18 to 20 people and over 4,000 tires. So.
Wow, big show. Listen, congratulations. Good luck for the rest of the weekend. And thank you very much for your commitment to the SCCA.
Well, hopefully we'll be around for a lot longer.
Another 40 years for you.
I don't think so.
Okay, mate. You need to retire just like some other people I know. Okay.
Yes, I will shortly, maybe.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Bob Schaefer, great guy. Seen him around the track forever. But, you know, Goodyear, man, they have been the tire in so long in club racing, well, actually in almost every racing in the United States. They have done such a great job in helping everybody. And you know, they have engineers to help you set up your car and everything when you're out at the track, and I believe they do a great job.
You know, one of the things we always talk about when it comes to the SCCA club racing is the fact that there are so many support groups around, whether it be engines, shock guys are all here. Tire companies have always been here for the SCCA club racing, whether it's Goodyear or Huger or Toyo, or you name it, go through the number of tires that people call Yokohama. That's what we do. We burn through tires, man. We need to get people to take care of us and make sure the tires are right and help our performance. And doesn't matter how much horsepower you have under the hood if you can't put it on the ground and effectively, you're nowhere.
No, and they helped me out when I first got started racing. They actually gave me a set or two of tires my first year, and of course it did help that I was driving a Cobra at the time, and Carroll Shelby was the distributor of Goodyear tires at the place. But they helped me a lot when I first started. But and they were in it before that, and that was before you were born.
It might have been. It might have been. I'll tell you. What was your first year?
68.
I was born in 68.
There you go.
There you
See?
go. Well, I'll tell you, it's been a privilege working with the EFR. I've had a lot of fun here this weekend. We got a couple more to go. We're going to try to make it to the end. It's time for the ground pounders. It is GT1 getting set to go. A little bit of trivia here. We got some more information being put on our desk here. The cars of Cliff Eben and Kurt Rohrig, a little bit of help there. They're being prepared by the 2007 GT1 champ Tony Avi and Peter Morehauser, who's right up there in second spot. He and Bill Gray, who is in the 5th position. Both cars prepped by a Trans Am veteran, Jim Durhog, as well. Both Durhog and Avi, both guys we've seen in the Trans Am category. Here is your top 12 as they get set to go. Cliff Eben in the number 36 will start in the front row alongside Peter Morehauser. Row 2 will be Michael Lewis in the 12 and Ryan McManus in the number 60. Bill Gray and Rick Dittman will be on row number 3. Amy Ruman and Brian Long on row 4. Max Lagarde and Kurt Rohrig on row 5. And Terry Giles and Doug Harrington on row number 6. GT1 drivers on the racetrack. You know what? I thought we were going to be able to dodge any kind of weather, but these clouds are rolling in here on us. This wind has stepped up so big time here, but from the middle of the morning on is making sure these clouds are getting here in short order.
Yeah, well, I hope it waits to the end of this race so that even if we get it, it's the guys are able to put tires on before the race starts in the rain for the next group. And because if it comes out in the middle of this race, none of these guys are set up for tire changes. They come close. They have tires out there, but
I don't think anybody's got reins over there. That's for sure.
I don't see any reins over there in the pit area. But if they have to change them, it's a disaster because you can't get it done. And to stay out in a rain at this track on slicks
with a GT1 car,
yeah, would be really difficult. Now, the reason is you just can't put the power to the ground in the when it's dry. And there's a lot of slick spots here. It'd be tough to make it up some of the hills with the cars like they are, like coming up from 5 to 6. And this track has some slick spots on it, even if you're running rain tires.
So GT1 getting set to go. They're on their warm-up lap again, as we've talked about early here. Cliff Eben, that's the guy they're all chasing right now. He was, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds faster than anybody in the second qualifying session. And of course, when they qualified later in the day, 4:25 was the qualifying time on Thursday, much more indicative of the kind of weather they would have here right now for their main event. Everybody, all 23 drivers setting their fastest laps on the third day of qualifying, and Eben ended up being almost 2 seconds quicker than Peter Morehauser, about 1.8 seconds faster, in fact. So at this point, it'll be Evans to lose here, as he will try to get away early. But like we've been kind of alluding to here right now, weather is an issue here. We're being told it'll possibly arrive around 3:30. That will be by the end of the GT1 race. So we're going to have to see what happens here as hopefully these guys will stay dry and we're able to go through. And you know what? We'll cross our fingers that we can get all the way through to the end of this one.
Yeah, these cars don't handle like an Atlantic car, but it's amazing how close their times are because of their straight line speed in these cars. The fastest cars we've got this weekend in the Atlantic cars, I mean, they're not, but just seconds.
Couple seconds off,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
couple seconds off from a big sedan that weighs 3,000 pounds. You know, it's really amazing that these cars get around as fast as they do. Until you see them go by here at the start-finish line, then you'll understand, because they will fly by.
I'm looking forward to it. Always glad. You know, I spend a lot of my time covering Formula Car events as well, but I always like getting to see the GT1 cars. It just kind of reminds me of my stock car roots, I guess, a little bit. The big V8 power and, of course, the silhouette bodies, as we've said. Fully tube frame cars. These are hardcore race cars here, similar to what you see in the Trans Am series. And it's time to get rolling with them here. Let's get these guys fired up.
Yeah. Lewis, longtime runner in the Trans Am, bringing his Jaguar back out here.
Max Lagat as well.
Lining up into the corners, trying to get side by side here.
Michael Lewis, one of the drivers who actually won here at Road America in the Trans Am Series. This is going to be a good one, folks. Hold on. You're going to be able to hear them wherever you are. If anybody's at the racetrack, they're going to be able to hear it. If you're at home, if you're close enough, you might. Well, if you're in Elkhart, you'll probably hear it.
Yep. Well, when they come up here and the green goes out, or when they get on the gas, you're going to know it, because all of a sudden it's going to be loud here. But it's just about to happen. Getting excited.
Pace car peels off. We're going to get set to go. Cliff Evan in the 36. Peter Morehauser in the 99. Wait till they stand on it here. We got it. Green, green, green.
Lewis hung back a little bit, but it cost him in actual fact, because these guys are hammering it down the straight. Going down the first two, getting away, and it looks like Evan's going to get into turn one first from the inside. We don't see that very often in actual fact.
Morehauser pushed him, though, into the braking zone. There's no doubt about that in the Corvette. Morehauser trying to stay with him, tucks back in behind him as they go down through turn two, over to turn number 3.
Lewis dropping to 4th place with McManus coming up into 3rd. So his start, where he was dropped back just a little bit, hurt him a lot. So we'll see if he can make up that position again.
All right, underway now here, folks, with GT1. Cliff Evan, champion back in 2003, the man to beat here this weekend. Here we go, working our way down to turn number 5. Looks to be the number 60 of McManus, up into 3rd spot, but overcooking the corner.
McManus getting way wide, getting out there. Got in a little bit deep, but he didn't lose a spot. But Lewis did lose a spot. So he's dropped back one more spot now.
Evan, Morehauser, McManus, 1, 2, 3, and as EFR said, Michael Lewis going back a couple of positions here right now as he's being challenged early on. Driver's just trying to get some heat built into these tires here to get things underway. It's the Ford Mustang up front, the Corvette runs in second, then the Mustang and McManus up into 3rd spot, that Jaguar falling back a little bit. Out of the carousel for the first time through the kink. This is going to be a quick one.
Looks like Lewis got back by in turn 8, so he's back up to 5th again. Or is it 4th he's in? He's in 4th again now.
We're going to get a good look for them when they work their way back up the front straight. We'll give you a call of the top 10 here as everybody's settling in. Here they come here to Canada Corner. I believe it's still 4th spot for Lewis.
Yeah, it's still 4th spot. Looks like Gray in 5th.
Bill Gray into 5th position.
But it looks like the 2 leaders are kind of getting away right at the moment. Evan is just pulling off for the first lap. He's going to end up with a couple second lead, it looks like.
All right, first time up the hill here to complete lap number 1. 13 laps in total. This one will be a little quicker than the last race we just saw.
Boy, Evan
with the lead at 2:11, 3 seconds faster than Morehauser on that opening lap. McManus into 3rd, Lewis 4th, Bill Gray in 5th, Rick Dittman, Max Lagat, Brian Long, Kyle Kelly, and Amy Rubin rounding out your top 10. What a start for Kyle Kelly, 16th up to 9th spot.
That's a heck of a start. And I don't know where you pass that many guys in one lap.
No kidding. Okay. Kyle Kelly's worked his way through a bunch of different races, folks. I remember watching Kyle running in an 80cc shifter back at the Santa Maria go-kart track just a number of years ago. He's worked his way up through Atlantic, Star Mazda, Toyota Atlantic, I believe, as well. When it was the Atlantic Championship, ran there a little bit. It's great to see him now in this GT1 car. Kyle Kelly looking to have a good drive. Up into 9th position. Leader starting to pull away a little bit, though. EFR, Evan, Morehauser, and McManus. Actually, there's that battle for 3rd. McManus actually getting pushed now by Michael Lewis.
Yeah, it looked like Lewis was dropping back on the straight, but he's made that distance up. It looks like he's quicker through this section. We'll see if he can get through. He's right on him. So see if he can do anything with it, make a pass there and get there, because he needs that spot for that podium that he would like.
So Cliff Evan looking good up front here right now. And remember, he is fresh off a victory here, the Trans Am victory here last weekend. So Evan already has that car dialed in and looking good here.
Yeah, if he's fast enough to win the Trans Am, you know he's really tough. And even though there's a lot of Trans Am drivers out here, that is tough competition to win that thing. And there's the pass.
Lewis
getting by.
Lewis able to get by McManus for 3rd, and in comes Gray as well. So McManus, in a matter of 1 corner, is going to go back 3 spots, because here comes
Something must be wrong with
something wrong,
McManus.
you're right.
I don't know what's happening. Something's wrong there.
29 of Brian Long going by as well, so definitely trouble here for McManus in the Mustang. See if he's able to keep that car to the inside.
Yeah, he's fallen off the pace completely. He's going into the pits.
Here, he's heading into pit lane. That's trouble there for Ryan McManus, out already. Hard luck for McManus.
And that puts Mike Lewis into third place. Turns a reasonably good time, and Gray right behind him, so they're going to be racing for position to see if Lewis can hold him off.
We're still looking at the super sweep here as well. If Cliff Eben can win this and Michael Lewis finishes third or lower, it'll be a super sweep for Eben. But if Lewis can get himself up into second spot, I believe that means he'll take enough points to win the national points of all the different categories, or of GT1 for all the different divisions. The overall national points, that'll mess that up.
That's way too complicated.
It is a little
I
complicated.
have a hard time following any of this.
Let's just put it this way. At the end, you either win the super sweep or you don't win the super
And you
sweep.
have to have somebody else tell me, because I'm not bright enough to understand this.
We'll take care of you, Elliot. Don't worry.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Peter Morehauser trying to hang on here with Cliff Eben, but it's almost impossible. Almost 5 seconds to gap. Eben did a 2:07.6 to Morehauser's 2:09.8, over 2 seconds quicker. This guy is flying right now in the number 36 machine.
You know, he hasn't even got his tires up to full temperature to the sweet spot yet. He's already fast enough to qualify right on the front row. You know, so
yeah.
It's amazing. He has got that car hooked up. I guess Ave has done a super job on it. Well, shoot, Ave did a pretty good job last year too. So he's done a good job on this car.
At the front of that car, I wonder if there's maybe some leaves or something that's stuck on the front grille of that car. I wonder if there will be an opportunity for any overheating problems there right now. It is fairly cool outside, but a lot of leaves up on the front of the grille of Evan's Ford Mustang.
That's amazing. It's something you don't even think about. You know, it's fall and there's a lot of leaves.
A lot of leaves around here right now, and they're all stuck to that grille.
You can we can see them on there. Well, hopefully it won't affect the car, because most of looked like Gray went off the road back in the back there a little bit.
Here comes Morehauser in second spot in the number 99. One of the Jim Durhag prepared cars running out there. Here comes the number 12 of Lewis in second. Bill Gray Lewis in third. Bill Gray up to fourth. Rick Dittman in fifth. Max Lagarde in sixth. Brian Long, Kyle Kelly, Amy Ruman, and Terry Giles. Now, as Kyle Kelly in the number 3 has now worked his way up to 8th position.
McManus is coming back out of the pits, so we'll see him back on the track after losing a lap. But Lewis seems to be able to hold this up, but it doesn't look right now like Lewis is catching Morehauser at all. Eben, of course, is disappearing. But everybody else seems to be running pretty close to the same lap time, but they just don't seem to be able to make a move on anyone.
Oh, yeah, the drivers from 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 9th all running mid 211s. 211.5, 211.6, 211.7. So those guys all pretty much running together here right now.
Boy, I'll tell you what, we have a 211.5, 211.5, 211.5, you know, it's just that the guys are locked in step. There's no doubt about it. Lewis is turning a good lap time because he was in the 9s, the same as Morehauser, which compared to the 7 that the leader's turning isn't quite as good. But they're turning times just about the same right now, and Michael Lewis is going to get his car up to a little bit more speed, but it doesn't look like he's able to get away from Gray at all at this time. Gray is hanging right in there.
We're going to keep an eye on this battle for third spot. That is the final position on the podium. 3 laps down, 10 to go here in GT1. As we said earlier, a threat of rain here at Road America for the afternoon. We may see some wet weather racing by the end of this day as D-Sports Racer and, of course, E-Production still to come.
Gray closing right in on the backside of Lewis. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now. Matter of fact, I think Lewis is holding him up because he's on the brakes a lot more than he should be in that section to stay behind Lewis.
Oh, Gray is just flying right now, working his way up on the back here. Last time by, Lewis was quicker by a couple of tenths of a second, but man, Gray was all over him coming out of Canada.
Lewis made a mistake in 14 there, got the car to step out, which is going to cost him up the straight. So he's going to have to try and pull it back in again on the next lap. But he's had trouble with 14 the last 2 laps now, dropping a wheel on the outside in the braking zone last lap, and this lap having it step out right at the apex of the corner.
Yeah, you know, he closed right up behind him there, and just to have that issue there, I thought for sure he would have been able to make a move coming up the straightaway because he was all over him coming out of the Canada corner, but
But you know the deal, man. You're right there. You want to make the pass. You want to get the throttle on early, get that shot. You get the throttle on early, car steps out. You got to back out of it and do it all over again.
It's definitely a tight wire to be able to do that, to be able to just hold that absolute edge of adhesion for the tires. This has allowed the number 12 Jaguar to pull out a little bit. Michael Lewis was a 110.17 last time by Gray. Even with the issue, was a 110.03, so it was quicker by maybe half a tenth. Even with that car stepping out and I'm coming through turn number 14.
And that was the second fastest lap of anybody that lap. So, but it did kill his drive coming out of the last corner, so it hurt him for this next lap.
The next lap's going to be lower, exactly. 2:08.54 for Cliff Evan. He's not going to have to push too hard. 8.5 seconds the advantage right now, just 4 laps into this.
Yeah, that's a guy that's now going to manage his tires, manage everything, I would think. I've been wrong on that before when I said that, but that's what I'd be doing now, is just kind of just managing that lead, keep it about the same, save the tires, save the brakes. If somebody does start to close in on you, pick it up early so that you can get going again.
Cliff Evan, Peter Moorhauser, Michael Lewis, Bill Gray, and Rick Dittman, your top 5 right now in GT1, as we're only about a third of the way through this race. Max Lagarde, Brian Long, Kyle Kelly, Amy Ruman, and Terry Giles completing your top 5.
Missing the apex a little bit there, but still going very well is Moorhauser. Back in at a 10:06 again. Looks like Evans slowed down a little bit again. I still believe he's saving the car.
Well, if he runs the same laps as Moorhauser right now, he's going to hold on to that 8.5 second lead. So that's all he's got to do, is he backs it off a couple of seconds, takes it real easy on the tires. He'll be in good shape.
Yeah, it looks like Gray lost about 6 seconds last lap out, and I imagine a lot of that is from the fact that he did not get the drive up the straight. Let's see if he can go back after Mike Lewis again. But here's a guy doing a super job.
Yeah, really no issues whatsoever right now for Cliff Evan. The number 36, we said, fresh off that victory here in the Trans Am race last Sunday.
And you notice coming out of 5, he's not even going onto the ripple strips, what a lot of guys are using. In a non-momentum car, you can do that, but you know, it also upsets the car a lot when you put a wheel in the ripple strips, and I think it hurts your drive up the hill anyway. I don't think it makes the drive a lot better.
That's the 83 of Max Lagarde going by Rick Dittman in the 24 and Brian Long in the number 29. And here comes a challenge from Kyle Kelly, the number 3 on the outside.
You know, Dittman looked like he was struggling earlier. We saw it from a distance, but Dittman coming off the carousel had the back end step off coming off the carousel. And it's not a normal place to have it step off. It looks like he is off the pace a little bit now.
Yeah, I think he's actually slow. All 3 drivers going by Dittman.
Yeah, he's letting them by. He's having some sort of issue.
Something wrong there with the number 24 of Rick Dittman. Let's see if you see him limping through here. Yeah, that's allowed both Long and Kelly and Ruman to get through.
And he's dropped off the pace behind them. So I think that he must have some sort of issue in that car, and he just doesn't want to deal with it at a high rate of speed.
No, I think you're exactly right. You can see he's falling way off the pace right now. They're gapping him in the distance as they work their way through the Kettle Bottoms. Here comes the 33,
the car a little
23 of
upset
Ruman.
coming in there.
Ruman looking to try to find a way by Kyle Kelly, who drops a wheel at the exit of Canada Corner.
And Amy, another person who's driven quite a few Trans Ams.
Your father has a couple races under his belt as well.
He's done that too.
Kelly able to pull away from Ruman a little bit there as they work their way back up the hill, getting a bit of a gap. That's going to change things around. You know, earlier in the race, you commented on the fact that we got a lot of Trans Am drivers in the field, Elliot. We're being told 13 of the 23 competitors we have in the field, at least one Trans Am start. So the GT1 and Trans Am guys really do cross over quite a bit.
They do, and they can. It's a place where what do we got going here? Backing into pit lane.
I believe that's the number.
Is that Gray?
Yeah, no, that's not Gray. That's who we just lose off the track here right now. That was up front there.
Is that Dittman pulling off there?
I believe so.
Boy, it's odd that he'd pull into the pits at that end. It seems it's easier to pull in the pits at the other end.
Rick Dittman in the number 24 deciding, I believe, that he didn't want to go one more lap around instead of coming up pit lane. He actually pulled past the pit out and then backed in.
Yeah, really strange.
Here's the number 29 of Brian Long. Driver spinning on the exit of turn 8. We're going to drive her around in turn 8.
And everybody missed him.
Wow.
Still sitting backwards. Might have killed the engine there trying to get it restarted.
Everyone able to get through, but that definitely allowed Kyle Kelly to close up on the 29 of Brian Long. So
yeah,
this is the battle right now here for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah, Brian Long kind of got the short end of that deal. He had pulled away from these guys, and all of a sudden they're right back on him. So
I'm wondering if I think Max Lagarde might have came into pit lane as well. I don't see him behind these guys right now. He should be there in 8th spot. He was in front of them before. That might have been him that went around.
You know, that might have been Max Lagarde because he does drive the yellow car.
I believe so. That might have been Lagarde around in 8th.
Around.
So this battle is going to become the fight for 5th, 6th, and 7th right now. Top 5.
Oh, Amy got a good run that time. She's right up underneath. Let's see if she can stay with them up the straight. It seems like she's losing a little going up the straight. Who have we got going out there now? My, we're getting to get all sorts of folks off the road here.
The number 18 of Kurt Rohrig, I believe, off in his Corvette. Rohrig started in the 10th position. His Corvette looks like him off in Canada Corner, so I don't see any kind of rain possibly coming down here yet. That would give us a reason for these guys sliding all over the racetrack.
Yeah, Kelly took a shot at Long at the end of the straight, but for some reason in turn 1 and 2 now he's lost some time, and Long's got away, and Ruman's right up behind him.
So this is the fight here right now for 4th, 5th, and 6th. A couple drivers have gone. That is Max Lagarde that dropped out of the race, or at least spun in that corner. We'll see if he's able to continue or not, but that's the 29 of Brian Long now running in 4th, Kyle Kelly in 5th, and Amy Ruin in 6th spot. Still up front, though. Now 12 seconds advantage for number 36, Cliff Evan, Peter Morehauser, and Michael Lewis currently holding on your positions in the top 3. Stay tuned, folks. We're 7 laps down, 6 to go in GT1. We got more racing to come live here on SpeedcastTV.com.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.
Back at it here with the number 29 of Brian Long.
Looks like he's off the pace.
Yeah,
you know, we saw him smoking just a little bit ago, just as we were going off. He let the other two by, and I think that he's heading for the pits because I think there's an issue there because there was a lot of smoke coming off that car.
Both Kyle Kelly and Amy Ruman able to go by it. They're having a great dice for what is now 4th spot. And, you know, they've just been going at it the entire race. And as it's gone on, we've had attrition. They just keep working for a different position. Now for 4th, and you never know, maybe even the top 3 at one point, maybe even for the podium.
Looks like Amy just does not have the car. Either she's put some more downforce on that car and it's a little bit...
Oh, somebody stuffed it hard. Sorry, AFR. Somebody hard into the corner. Canada corner. Totally missed it. That Corvette is well off the racetrack. I think that might be Rohrig again in the number 18.
It sure looks like it, and that's just where he was off last time. So it's interesting. It looks like he lost brakes entirely.
Yeah, I think that's got to be a total loss of brakes as he went straight off at Canada corner. A very fast corner with these heavy GT1 cars. So we'll see what they say here. That is actually a position. If he's okay, they'll be able to get out there with the crane and pull him back out here. But
I wonder if Long's car is dropping some oil too, you know, because we saw all that smoke and everything off the car and he didn't go back into the pits. That maybe he's dropping some oil on the track and that's what that oil's from.
Well, you'd expect we'd see that on the front of Kyle Kelly's number 3, and I don't see too much on there right now. We get the glare off of it, but he seems to be running well, still in 3rd spot. Amy Ruman in 4th, but yeah, that was, as we said, Kurt Rohrig off the racetrack in the number 18. The Corvette buried into the tires on the other side of the gravel trap in Canada corner.
Well, I'll tell you what, those tires do their job. I mean, you go off there, lose the brakes or whatever, because that wasn't just because you went too deep. That's because something major happened and that you got that far into the tires. But boy, those things save you from where we used to have it, where there was nothing out there but a barrier or, in actual fact, at one time, trees.
I was just going to say, probably not even a barrier. So our drivers working their way back over to Canada Corner. We're not seeing that at this point here, but here comes our leader, watching him come down through 2 and 3. 9 laps down, 4 to go for the number 36 of Cliff Evan. 16-second advantage right now over Peter Morehauser as he has just continued to turn great laps. A 2:10.75, about 4 seconds off the lap he turned in qualifying, but really just turning the laps he needs to now. Of course, tire wear factor starting to play.
Yeah, no, it will be. Right now for him, I don't think that's going to be an issue because I think he's backed it down enough now that he's not going to have that issue. But we do have a issue in second place where Morehauser lost another half second that lap, and he's only about 4 seconds ahead.
Michael Lewis in the number 12, you're right.
So, you know, if it continues on like that, Mike Lewis might have a shot at it unless Morehauser's just going easy, waiting for him to catch up and pull on the pace again. We'll see. But Michael Lewis being at 11.5 and Morehauser being at a 12.0.
Eben right off the rear wing of Tom Upton out of Texas. Back here with that battle for 4th position, Kyle Kelly in the number 3 and Amy Ruman in the number 23. Ruman has been putting the pressure on continually on Kelly, but just not quite enough to be able to make a move to get by.
Well, she seems to be losing as they go down the straight. For whatever reason, her car isn't running as well down the straight, but she seems to be doing a great job back in the back section of the track to close it back up again.
Have a look at those wings there right now. You can almost see that hers is tilted up a little more, the
She's
rear
going
wing.
for it right now. Look at this. Big move, side by side. Looks like they're rubbing a little.
She's not going to have...
Can't make it. She's got the outside for the carousel.
But yeah, it looks to me like she may have some more rear wing dialed in, like you said, EFR. It's helping her over here in the tighter stuff, obviously through the kink. But once they get up on the straightaway, hindering her a little bit here.
Let's see if she can get a run off the kink and get to Canada Corner first, because in these cars, this is not a place to pass here. But if she can get a run here, she might be able to do something down to Canada Corner. If she can do it, I'm not sure that's enough to hold the lead going up the straight, because I think Kelly's car is much stronger up the straight. She's thinking about it. Kelly thinks she's thinking about it.
I was going to say, he's thinking about defending it. But she's going to try him up the inside here. Check this. Oh, I thought maybe Ruben was going to try the inside. We've seen a couple of cars try to go up there to get side by side up the hill to hold on to that inside line for 14, but no.
And she closes right up in 14. Actually gets up. Oh, they touched. They touched a little bit there.
Side by side up the hill.
But she just doesn't seem to have the thing. She's got to pop back in now. Pop back in.
Yeah, she needs to tuck back in behind.
And
wow.
And she didn't do that, but she lost the time up the straight. Looks like her car just does not have the straight line speed today. But she seems to be getting through the corners really well.
You know what? She took a really good aggressive run at Kyle Kelly on the last lap. Let's see if she do it again here. She was right beside him. They were 2x2 coming out of turn number 8. She gets a good run through here again. Plants herself right behind the Camaro of Kyle Kelly, the California in the number 3. Watching for our leader to come by again here as we've got 10 laps now in the books. All right, who we keying on here? Another of our different drivers.
And we
far enough away. I think that might be William Reed.
With the,
Bill Reed, but can't quite see the number on that card to be able to give that one to you.
It looked like the leader coming up behind him, does it? Think so. Good car.
GT1 continuing on here, folks. Cliff Eben, your leader in the number 36 by 15 seconds. Peter Morehauser's getting closed in a little bit by Michael Lewis, but no longer.
It looks like William Reed is who it looks like.
I believe that's the 59 of William Reed. They're running in 6th spot. Kerry Giles behind him in the number 85.
Oh, boy, that's a tough spot. Going in underneath somebody into the kink is scary at best.
She had a look on him. I really think she's just trying to see if she can get Kyle to make a mistake somewhere. If Kelly can even miss a braking zone or something, she'll be there to capitalize. But thus far, he's been unshakable.
Well, somebody pulls like they're going under me in the cake. They've rattled me. It's one of those. That's.
You might not want to let that get out there.
Yeah, no, that's okay now.
It's okay now. You're right.
That is a fast place. I mean, it is so fast to get through there. Oh, and it looks like Gray's right on Michael Lewis now.
Lewis in the number 12. He might have been getting by a slower car there, EFR, because he's pulled away from that car already. Lewis by himself. Kyle Kelly back by about 30 seconds from Michael Lewis. So Lewis essentially had
somebody there. Lewis is just running off by himself.
Yeah, he's by himself on the racetrack, 5 seconds behind Moorhauser, and about 30 seconds ahead of Kyle Kelly right now. But Kelly's got his own battle in his hands. As Amy Ruman has not given up here yet. 11 laps down, 2 remaining, just 2 to go for Cliff Evan.
Yeah, it looks like Moorhauser is pulling away again from Lewis, so maybe that was a traffic issue where he had the problem earlier. But Lewis is still sitting in third place to get at least on the podium, so that's a good run for Mike Lewis.
Max Lagarde, who had spun over there in turn number 8, was able to continue on and now runs in the 10th position. But Lagarde closing in a big way, about 3 seconds faster than 3 cars in front of him. And he's only back by about 4 seconds. Lagarde may be able to work his way back up closer to the top 7 here. Lagarde in the number 83. I'll have to key on that one because he's moving big time here as well. Here's your second place driver, Peter Moorhauser in the number 99. 5 seconds back to Lewis, the 12.
Lewis is still trying. He's hoping for that second place still. I don't know if he can get it because Moorhauser's doing a great job at the lap times he's doing, and Evan has actually slowed down at the same time as the other guys are turning. He's just out there cruising with a big enough lead that he can handle it and make sure everything works okay to the finish of the race.
Last lap board given to Cliff Evan in the number 36 as he's been able to pull away here. Up comes Lewis across the line as well. 11 laps in the books for the 12 of Lewis. Final lap on the track here for Evan, though, but we're going to keep watching Max Lagarde, at least on our timing and scoring, because he's up to 10th position here right now. Good shot there of the number 20. That could have been the 28, actually.
Here's our leader coming down on his last lap, coming into turn 5. Coming up to turn 6, just running a lap by himself, seeing what he can do here. He's got it home free as long as he doesn't have anything happen. It looks like he's being very careful here. He's not using the road or anything, just driving around. Awesome race for him, though. We haven't seen him much during the race because he hasn't been racing with anybody, just running out by himself. Well-prepared car by Ave and well-driven by Evan. It was a great race so far, and if Cliff can get this thing to finish, and he has a lot of leaves in that front, but I guess no problem.
Way things are sitting here right now, the number 36, the Cliff Evan, will take the super sweep. As we said earlier on, if Lewis were able to get up to second spot, he would be probably the top driver in national points for GT1 by this happening. And him being back in third spot, Cliff Evan will win the super sweep. Just can't emphasize enough how impressive that is.
Last time into Canada corner with the green flag out.
What an amazing run for this guy today.
Oh, yeah.
All week long, super fast in both of the qualifying sections that they ran. 2 seconds clear, going to walk out to a 15-second win here. He was able just to get out front, grab that position, and maintain. It'll be a super sweep and a national championship for Cliff Evan as he works his way up the hill. What a dominant performance in GT1 for Cliff Evan. Checkered flag flying. They're able to get through here without any rain as well. Excellent for GT1. Peter Moorhauser back by, as we said, about 15 seconds, but it'll be a good solid drive for Moorhauser. 13 drivers look like they're going to finish on the lead lap. Here comes Moorhauser in the number 99. Silver medal for Moorhauser. Lewis in third spot. That position will give Evan the super sweep. In comes the number 20 of Tom Stanford. Here comes the battle. Keying back on the battle for fourth position. Kyle Kelly and Amy Ruman. Got Ruman working it here, trying to get up on Kelly. Looks like we may get some rain just starting to come right now, in fact. Oh, the both drivers spinning.
Come together.
Kelly's going to be able to continue.
Not yet.
Can Kelly refire and get back up the hill?
And didn't lose the position.
Let's see if Ruman's able to continue as well. Just contact there at turn 14. They went at it.
Yeah, they touched a couple times there, but just not this hard. So they, oh man, Kelly getting to go. Don't see Ruman yet, though.
There's Ruman right there.
Ruman now.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah, lost a little time, no positions. It's okay.
6th spot to William Reed, 7th to Terry Giles, 8th to Max Lagarde as he gets 3 spots over the last 2 laps. Max Lagarde up to 8th, Dennis Lammers in 9th, and Jim Bradley rounding out the top 10 in the number 01 machine. You know what? I really enjoyed a couple of the battles and that fight between Amy Ruman and Kyle Kelly that really started for 7th, ended up being for 4th at the end. They kept it pretty entertaining. Amy Ruman just kept trying, but just did not have that have the speed in the straightaway. I think a little more wing probably than Kelly.
Yeah, you know, it might be that, but you know, she could have come up with a good finish if it hadn't been for her straight line speed, because she was very much faster in the rest of the track, because she could close up those couple car lengths she lost on the straight almost immediately, and then just try looking for a way by, and it just didn't work out for her.
Almost, I could say, a flawless performance by this guy here all weekend long. He really was the dominant driver here in GT1 in that Ford Mustang. It is Cliff Evan. A 2:13.95 on the last lap. In fact, the last lap, the fastest was set by Michael Lewis at 2:12.30 as he was trying to close up on Morehauser. But at that point, Evan able to kind of take a deep breath, maybe breathe a little bit before the kink to make sure he had lots of room to get through there, as he's able to bring that Ford Mustang home as your national champion. We saw a couple of little raindrops on the lens of the camera there.
If you saw that, they probably saw it on their windshield. And if they saw it on their windshield, you know, Evan, the best thing he could do is just back out of it and see if he could, nothing would happen. And from the Morehauser's time, you know, I think that he must have seen a few raindrops too, or he got in traffic. But Lewis,
look at all those
closed
leaves.
Up a lot.
All those leaves in the front of that car of Evan too. I can't believe they didn't have any kind of overheating problems whatsoever, because I see the leaves actually falling off the front as soon as he stopped. Nonetheless, he completes what is an amazing weekend here at Road America for Cliff Evan, the driver out of Appleton, Wisconsin. So, you know, local boy here, knows the racetrack. Going to be thrilled to have won the national championship here at a track he likely calls home.
Yeah, to be Trans Am champion at this track and national championship at this track. He's in the history books this year, and it'll be really good for him forever.
Second national championship for Cliff Evan as well. He won back in 2003. So it takes him a couple years to get back to the top of the podium. He does it in fine style, no doubt about that.
Oh, he did that. He had a well-prepared car and a well-driven car. And, you know, you can be given the best car in the field. Doesn't mean you're going to win unless you do the right stuff with it.
This guy did the right stuff, and right now he is standing by with John Bizzardino down on pit lane.
Well, I just said to Cliff that it was a great drive. He almost made it look easy, and he said hardly. Well, tell us about it.
Well, I got a good start, and the car was running great in the beginning, and about halfway through, the brakes started getting a little bit soft, and you start slowing down a little bit, and you can get into trouble when you do that. So,
well, the concentration goes down.
Right, it does, and I just kept trying to push as hard as I could without running off the end of the track.
Now, we had a little bit of rain here in the pits. What was it like on the other side of the circuit?
It wasn't bad. It was all right.
Listen, man, you seem more relaxed. Anybody I know who just won a gold medal and a championship. Congratulations on a great drive. You did make it look easy. What a great automobile this is.
It is. It handles real good on the straights. It makes the job easy.
Hey, guys, handling really good on the straights. Makes it easy. Congratulations. Back to our number 99 car. Of course, Pete Morehauser. He had a very good test session here, but the qualifying sessions weren't quite up to his snuff, except maybe for the last one. I've got to ask you, Pete, all that testing that you did early on certainly proved to be well worthwhile.
Well, I would have liked to do one better, so maybe we should have tested an extra day. But
of course.
I mean, congratulations to Cliff. I mean, what a drive. I mean, I don't think we had anything for him.
You didn't have any legs for him, did you?
I thought we would have a chance if we could be consistently in the 8s, but the grip wasn't really there today. Maybe I just didn't drive as well as I could have, but even if I did, I don't think I could have caught Cliff today. He did a great job, and congratulations to him. He's a great.
Well, congratulations to you on a great silver medal, second place here.
Well, thank you. I'd like to thank Jim Derhagen.
You go right ahead.
Jim took me under his wing this year. Did a fantastic job of.
It's not a bad wing to be under.
No, he taught me a lot. I still think I got a ways to go. I've got to thank my parents. They really stepped up to the plate. My mom and dad, thank you both. They really helped out this year. My dad coached me a little bit, so I think it came a long way, and I'm really looking forward to next year. So
well, we're looking forward to having you back. Congratulations on this year. Okay, an old friend of mine, Mike Lewis, sitting casually on the side of his car. I'll tell you, Mike, you had a lot of pressure there from time to time behind you and getting through a few cars. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was okay. Bill was
well, you were in Atlanta yesterday, so
Bill was there for a few laps, and then he dropped away. I guess he had a problem, and I just had nothing for these guys. I had a high-speed misfire. I think my engine's tightening up. I thought it might not last first few laps. I did have some momentum moving, and got caught in some traffic that was laps down that decided to race the podium guys. I don't know why that was, but that's the beauty of the runoffs.
Well, this is not the place to have a high-speed misfire. That had to kill you.
No, it just I could feel it tightening the whole race. So, no, next year I guess.
I know you'll be back. That's for sure. Congratulations on a great bronze.
Thank you.
Good fun out there.
All right.
Well, we're trying to get Amy Ruman up here. Here we go, Amy. How you been?
All right.
I used to bounce you on my knee, you know that. Well, maybe you don't remember that. Your dad certainly does. What a great, fun run. I mean, you were out there just pushing everywhere.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at the start, everybody tanked it down in 5, and I tried to go grab a low gear in 1 so I could have some torque up the hill, and I missed the shift, and that's how everybody got by me. And then once everybody got by me with the big motors, I had a heck of a time trying to get past by them. I picked off a few, but I don't know who's driving the 3 Camaro, but me and him were nose to tail, and I could get him in a couple of spots, and as soon as we get on the straight, he'd just get me. And
well, in the twisty turny parts, you were all over him. In fact, you were rubbing. This is not NASCAR, you know. But.
I know. He kind of turned into me twice, and then at the end, he parked it there. I thought I had a run on him up on the inside, and he blocked the lane, and we touched. But hey, it's GT1. I'm here to win. I'm not here to mess around, You
gotta get your dad to get you a bigger motor then.
Well, we did. We popped it in the Trans Am race. I raced the Trans Am race last weekend. I was running 5th, and the 358 just let go. So unfortunately, that was supposed to be our Runoffs motor too. And next year we'll have 2, so we can be at the front both times.
I'll tell you guys, this is one of the happiest faces we've seen in this victory lane all day long. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
Great run.
Thanks.
I think Amy had a fun day racing, if nothing else. But she did a good job, and I mean, you could see that she didn't have any motor today. And it's a shame. I was surprised at Cliff Evans saying that his car wasn't working that well, and he had run out of brakes.
Well, it's going to happen. Like I said, we said these are big cars. I would think that everybody was probably running out of brakes a little bit near the end of the deal. But like you said, for him to say that he was trying to hold the car on the racetrack, still took some pretty good times if he was holding the car on the racetrack.
Yeah, but he had just run the Trans Am here, which is a longer race, and you would think that they would have that brake issue done for that race because you can't back off much in a Trans Am and still win. So and he did that.
Here are your unofficial results for our GT1 category. Cliff Evans with that win by 15 seconds over Peter Moorhauser. Third spot was Michael Lewis with the number 12. There's that 4th position, that number 3 that Amy wasn't sure who it was. It was Kyle Kelly that she was racing with, and they were definitely doing a little bit of rubbing, but like she said, this is GT1 racing. Well, you might get a little bit of rubbing, and we really enjoyed that battle. Kyle Kelly and Amy Ruman 4th and 5th respectively. They both went at it in the final corner. Kelly going around, Amy going around, but Kelly able to get himself back up and into 4th position. Ruman are able to hold on to the spot as well as William Reed. Not quite enough to be able to catch up to Amy. William Reed was in 6th spot. Kerry Giles in 7th. Max Lagat 8th. Dennis Lammers in 9th. James Bradley 10th. Brian Long, who was up front, had some trouble, but was able to kind of hang on there for an 11th place finish. And David Forstan wrapping things up, your top 12.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.